Good evening, everybody. Happy NFL Draft Night 2. Night 2 is in the book. Sorry for taking so long. We were doing in the hoop just now. So um, while we were doing that, Night 2 has officially ended. I'm going to put some background music on here to make it too. So. There we go. Get some background music going here real quick. Yeah. Hope everybody's had a great day today. Happy Friday to you all. Uh, it has been a day for me, though I did get some sleep before doing the shows tonight, so I'm happy about that at the very least. Rounds 2 and 3 are done. Rounds 2 and 3 are done, which means we got one more day of the NFL draft to go. Day 3 will be tomorrow. It'll start at, I believe, either noon Eastern or 1 p.m. Eastern. I think it's noon Eastern, so it'll start at 11 a.m. Central Time. So keep that in mind to everybody, and it's going to be rapid fire for the most part. It should take only about 3-4 hours to get completed done. And then once the show is done, once the draft is over, then myself, Scott Coe, Bobby G will be doing a full-on NFL draft recap of all 7 rounds, who won the draft, who didn't win, who made some stinker, questionable moves, stuff like that. But as far as night 2 goes, as we kind of go through this here, we'll go through round 2 real quick. It started off with Deshaun Stripling, the wide receiver from Ole Miss, getting taken here by the 49ers. 49ers, of course, traded back twice. Ended up with the first pick of day 2. Couple notable picks here. TJ Parker, the edge rusher from Clemson, going to Buffalo. Caden McDonald going to the Texans. Another defensive player goes to Houston. Colton Hood, defensive back out of Tennessee, going to the Giants. One, of course, big story overall for tonight is Jermon McCoy, who has not been selected yet. In fact, he's still on the board as we speak, heading into round 4. Of course, he had an ACL injury a couple years back, which is a big reason why he has not been drafted yet. But all projections, all signs show that he's the second best corner in this entire draft. But obviously, the injury issue is something that teams are very, very concerned about with him, which is why he's still sitting there even as we go into the 4th round. Other guys of note here, Cleveland. What a night for Cleveland. I think the Browns did phenomenal tonight. Denzel Boston, you get another pass catcher for Shedeur Sanders, and you go and get the safety from Toledo, who a lot of people had pegged as a first-round talent. So kudos to the Browns. They had a phenomenal night, especially in round 2. See what they did here in round 3. Austin Barber, you get another tackle. So you get another value pick there in round 3. The Browns, I think, to me, are one of, if not the biggest winners here on night 2. I loved every pick that they had tonight. So I got to give the Cleveland Browns some props for what they were able to accomplish tonight. R. Mason Thomas, another guy. Obviously, I'm an Oklahoma guy. I live in Norman. I was very high on and interested to see where he ended up. Goes to Kansas City. I don't think he could have found a better fit for his kind of skill set. And I think I told a couple Chiefs friends of mine that they should be very, very happy with the pick because. Man, our Mason Thomas is one of those edge rushers. He got that fire in his step, and he's a closer. He's one of those guys where if you need him to make a big play late, he can get the job done. A lot of people also had him as thought as a first round talent, and the fact that he fell to number 40 is crazy. That's crazy value there, in my opinion, there for the Kansas City Chiefs. Jacob Rodriguez going to the Dolphins. I wasn't sold on a lot of what the Dolphins did tonight. They had a couple good picks, but I wasn't really sold on a lot of what the Dolphins did. Avion Terrell, of course, going to the Atlanta Falcons to pair up with his brother AJ Terrell. D'Angelo Pons, I love that pick for the Jets. They need some help on the back end. This is kind of your Sauce Gardner replacement. then another team that I feel like had a really big draft tonight, got a team that I think was another winner tonight was the Pittsburgh Steelers, the home team, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Jeremy Bernard, great pass catcher, good deep threat. You go into the third round here, they go and get Drew Aller from Penn State. It's essentially a guy who's going to be competing to be the starter potentially going forward once Aaron Rodgers retires. Dalen Everett, a corner, good value there as you get a third round corner. And I believe they also got another tackle as well. I love what the Pittsburgh Steelers did tonight. We saw another running back go off the board in round 3. Keelan Black from Indiana came off the board. That was really the only running back that came out off the board. Big night for Texas Tech. A lot of Texas Tech players were drafted tonight. So huge night for them. Kind of going through some of these. I mean, we started off round 3 with Carson Beck going to the Arizona Cardinals. I'm still questioning what in the world Arizona's trying to accomplish here. And they need a lot of help. They really do. And you've got some pieces in here now, but I'm not sold on the pieces that they've got. Excuse me. I mean, Jeremiah Love, he's a generational talent, but who's going to block for him? Again, you go get Carson Beck, but who's going to block for him? You really needed offensive line help, and you go get the guard from Texas A&M. Not the guy I was expecting you to get, but okay. I'm not sold on what Arizona's doing, to be honest. Josiah Trotter, another guy from Missouri. You have back-to-back Missouri picks here in round 3. Josiah Trotter and, of course, Zion Young from Missouri. Zion going to the Ravens. Josiah Trotter going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. C.J. Allen going to the Colts. Not a bad pick. Not really about, Eagles getting the Vanderbilt tight end here in round 2. Obviously, there's a lot of health questions with Dallas Goedert if he could stay healthy throughout the season. So I'm sure that's why they made that pick. And then the two other guys that I loved here from this night from round 2 here, Anthony Hill going to the Tennessee Titans. I think that's a phenomenal pick, especially with who their head coach is now with Robert Saleh. Anthony Hill, I kind of compare him a little bit to DeMarvion Overshown, but Anthony Hill is a healthier version of DeMarvion Overshown. He's got a great motor. He's got good leadership qualities and what have you. And again, I actually work with a couple of Texas fans who speak very, very, very highly of Anthony Hill, and a lot of people, especially in Austin, thought he could have been a first-round talent. So the fact that Tennessee got him at the back end of round 2, phenomenal get for them. And then Bud Clark. Essentially, if you're Seattle, you only had 4 picks in this draft. One of these draft picks is going to have to hit for it to be a successful draft. And I think this one right here with Bud Clark is going to be a successful pick, because Bud Clark is one of those safeties that he just seems like he's a ball hawk. He's a ball hawk. He's a playmaker. He's everywhere around the field. He's like Caleb Downs light almost. He's like a light version of Caleb Downs. So I'm very interested, very excited to see how Bud Clark's game transitions into the NFL. And I hope he does have success, because I really, really love that pick for the Seahawks. So, again, overall, I would say Cleveland, I love their draft probably the most. I love what the Steelers did tonight. As far as players go, I love the pick, as I mentioned before, for Anthony Hill, Bud Clark. I love that pick. The D'Angelo Ponce pick, I really, really loved. Um, I was not sold on Carson Beck going to Arizona. I feel like he could have been like a fourth round pick, if anything. Um, Raiders, I thought they did okay for what they had. Bengals are just kind of here at this point. I'm not sold on what Miami did. Uh, yeah, and even Indianapolis, I'm kind of like, you're filling needs. You're not really making game changing picks here. And I think Cowboys only had one pick, and it was another edge rusher. So you're just adding. I feel like Dallas is just adding more depth to their defense at this point. So, um, yeah, round three wasn't really too exciting, other than the two quarterbacks that were taken off the board, and you have the one running back as well. But there are some solid picks here, not otherworldly game changers, but that's kind of what you expect from, especially in round three. Um, but there's still some guys out there that are still really really good players. I mean, Jermon McCoy is still out there. Obviously the injury is what's keeping him back. Keontae Scott, a very very good cornerback from that Miami team last season. Leet Muhammad, another great corner. You have Jalen Kilgore, great safety that's still on the board. Deion Burks, wide receiver from Oklahoma, who could be a solid slot guy. Another OU guy, Grayson Holton, who could be a solid nose tackle. Garrett Nussmeier, we talk about quarterbacks. A lot of people touted Garrett Nussmeier as the third best quarterback in this draft. He's still there on the board. You got the wide receiver from North Dakota State, Bryce Lance, who could be a solid player. And then just a whole bunch of others, guys that have had quality plays, could be great players into the next level. Harold Perkins, the linebacker from LSU, still on the board. He's touted here in the top 30. He could potentially go round 4, round 5. That would be a steal. Nicholas Singleton, the running back from Penn State, who's still there on the board. Let's see what else we got. You got some Michigan players who are still on the board that have some phenomenal. You got some Boise State guys, some Auburn guys, some SEC teams that are being represented that still have some talented players left. A lot of talent. And then, of course, there's Taylon Green, who we've talked about on Rec Room here in the past. Still there on the board, projected to be a 5th, 6th round pick. Could, depending on how this draft falls, could potentially go undrafted too. Who knows? So that'll be interesting to see. Another OU guy, Robert Spears Jennings, a couple Indiana guys from that national championship team last year. Still yet to be put on the, still yet to be picked up. So it's going to be interesting to see how the last 4 rounds of this draft turn out tomorrow. And again, they're going to be rapid fire, of course, because that's just how day 3 is. They try to get this done as quick as possible. They're going to have a lot of interesting ways that they announce these picks at times, but that's the spirit of the NFL draft. I think Pittsburgh's done a great job as a host city so far. A lot of trolling, especially from teams like the Cowboys, the Eagles, and obviously the teams from their own division, Ravens, Browns, and the Bengals. So anyway, I think we had a really solid night 2 of the NFL draft. Again, if I had to say who's my biggest winner out of everybody tonight, it's probably the Cleveland Browns. I think the Browns overall had the best night tonight. Biggest loser, unfortunately, and it's to no fault of his own, it's Jermon McCoy, guy who a lot of people had counted as a top 10 pick, and he's fallen all the way to the 4th round. So, so we'll see how that plays out. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Again, check out our full NFL draft recap as soon as the draft is over. Myself, Bobby G, and potentially Scott Cope as well. Check out Lock It In tomorrow morning. we'll try to get it done before the draft starts. So hit that bell so you know when we're going live at the very least. So we got our baseball show Wednesday night with myself, Scott, and Jonathan. We'll be doing our top 10, our monthly top 10 for the month of April. And then, of course, there's the Rec Room Sports Radio Show on ESPN 690 in Jacksonville, also live here on this channel at the same time. And if you didn't check out In the Hoop tonight, go check that out as well. With that being said, y'all, I'm going to get on out of here. Hope you guys have a fantastic night, and we'll see you back here tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, for a full recap of the 2026 NFL Draft.